guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree if you are new here, and welcome back to Palette Throwback Thursdays. In today's video, I am going to be pairing together the Colourpop Play It Jewel palette with the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Castaway. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I pair these two products together, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I'm going to start off with a smaller blending brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Geode Life, and I'm going to start kind of building that up on my inner and outer corners. I have noticed that this shade in particular needs like a lot of like building and packing, and it's the tone that I wanted for today, but it's definitely not the best shade in this palette. Alright, next up, I'm actually going to take the exact same brush and I'm just going to kind of wipe it off a little bit. But I'm going to go into this top shade up here. I want to say it's Agate You, but I feel like that's not right. I'm gonna blend out my top edges with it. Now see, this shade's like stupid pigmented. Like you barely touch your brush and so much shadow comes up. It's weird how there's like that inconsistency, but... Alright, next up, I'm going to take a really small blending brush and I'm going to go into this bottom shade down here, Surreal, and I'm just going to deepen up my inner and outer corners. If you wanted your inner and outer corners to be super deep with this shade, I would suggest starting with it. It's definitely the type of shade that like performs the absolute best and like the most pigmented as being the first shade, but I'm not mad at how it looks right now. Alright, really quick, I'm just going to go back in with that first brush that I used into Geode Life and just make sure everything's nice and soft. Alright, next up, I'm going to go into the Colourpop Castaway on my finger, and I'm just going to press that on the open space on my lids. And kind of diffuse it out a little bit. So this one is technically a Super Shock pressed glitter. Alright, so I'm going to jump off and put on, I'm not going to do a wing, I'm just going to like line my lash line, put on my foundation, and I'll be back to continue working on this look. I accidentally mixed my foundation a smidge too light, so I had to go a smidge too light on my concealer, but here the fuck we are. I'm going to start out with the e.l.f. Putty blush in the shade Tanlines as my cream bronzer. I swear sometimes, just with like the size of the TV that I use as my fucking monitor, sometimes I swear it is easier to apply my makeup looking up at the monitor than it is to like actually just look in the mirror. And then for my blush, I'm going to use the LA Girl Soft Matte Cream Blush in the shade Rosebud. I'm going to be very gentle with this because it can get a little crazy. It's very, very pigmented. Alright, I'm going to jump off really quick and set, like, I don't know, underneath my eyes, my chin, and like the center of my forehead, and I will be back to keep working on my bronzer and blush and highlight. Alright, so for my bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Juvia's Place Bronzed palette in Light, and I'm going to start off with the lighter shade, and then I'm probably going to accentuate just a little bit with the deeper shade. And then for my blush, I'm going to use the Flower Beauty Flower Pots blush in the shade Sweet Pea. Alright, really quick off camera, I'm going to take that dark, like, reddish purple shade and I'm just going to smoke out my lower lash line and I'm going to put on a little bit of like glow powder on my forehead. I'll be right back. Alright, and then for my highlight, I'm going to go in with the Milani Baked Highlight in the shade Dolce Perla. Alright, I'm going to jump off and finish up the rest of my face. For my lips, I'm going to use the Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick in the shade Bare Affair, and I'll be back to show you guys the final look. Alright, so this is the final look. I love the way that it turned out. I think that it's so pretty. It's very like, it's giving like New Year's Eve vibes, if I'm being honest with you. But I think that it's really, really pretty and I love the way that my skin looks and I'm happy. So that is going to wrap up my palette Throwback Thursday using the Colourpop Play It Jewel palette and the Colourpop Super Shock Pressed Glitter in the shade Castaway. Comment down below and let me know how you would pair these two products together. I would love to know. Please subscribe if you have not already. It would mean the world to me. Like this video, ring the bell, do all the things. I hope that you guys have an awesome, awesome day and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!